Oh, it's a rainy one today, but this is the benefit of having a polytunnel, is you can carry on with your jobs. So today I'm gonna finally get all those potato buckets, replenish the compost by adding in bloodfish and bone, and also a potato fertilizer, which is this organic potato and vegetable fertilizer by Vitax. So I used this last year and the year before, and it proved really effective. So I'll be adding some of that into the buckets to replenish that compost that I had last year. So I'm going to try and use as much of that compost that I can to save a little bit of money, because I bought so much compost already. But I have got some shop bought farmyard manure in sacks as well that I am going to add into it as well, just to give it that extra bit of boost, and also will hold in the moisture. So I'm going to get all those buckets done. So they'll have to be stored in here if the temperatures, keep dropping. We had all that lovely weather, and now we're back to rain and cold temperatures at night. But that's okay. I'm sure that they'll be okay in here for a few weeks, and then I'll get them outdoors as well. So I'm a little bit late for me. I normally do it about a week or two before this now, but it's catch-up time. But on a plus side, the cabbages outside are actually benefited from this rain. They've really bedded in now. They put on a lot of growth. They are netted, but the rain is still getting into that compost, and to be honest with you, the beds desperately needed it outside, so I'm not complaining. This rain now will actually absorb into the compost and all the soil underneath, and leave me with a nice growing medium for the remainder of the planting out that I'm going to do next week. So I've welcomed it. Also, all the strawberry buckets now are actually in full bloom, or even better, started putting on some strawberries. Now, it won't be long before I'll be getting some strawberries to harvest and taste. Now, if you can have a look. So if you can see, there's plenty of strawberries now in these hanging baskets that I planted up in February and March. Now, I put that down to the good compost I put in there, the farmyard manure that I put in the bottom of the hanging baskets, and also they are being watered by the irrigation system, so that's also benefiting that they're having a routine of a small amount of water every morning. And I've never had so many flowers on the strawberry baskets ever. So we're looking at having a bumper crop this year. I've also planted out the remaining dwarf safari French beans in here. I put 9 in here. Will they be ready before the time I plant up this for melons? I don't know, but it's worth a go. They were spare plants. The lettuces are coming on great here now. And I had a bit of space because I've taken out the one mustard and the kale. They were delicious. The one did start to go to flower, so that had to come out. And also the Nautica French beans that I put in here, the dwarf ones, I direct sowed them in here. Nothing came of them. Maybe a mouse went down and had them, I'm not quite sure. I didn't see any disturbance, but yeah, I planted these out here, and we'll see how we get on in the season. And I'm slowly harvesting the brassicas out here. We've still got some spinach here, which I'm going to take today. I've harvested quite a lot of the broccoli. There are some cabbages in here now that probably could stay in for another month or so, but to be honest, I want to start replenishing this bed ready for the tomatoes for next month. Linda's popping over, so she can have a cabbage or two ready for a Sunday lunch. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this sowing out in autumn. And I mean, these spring cabbages look amazing. There's not a hole on them. So that's definitely proved to me that growing my spring cabbages outside just doesn't work. They battle the elements and also all the pests like slugs all through autumn and winter. But in here, they've worked perfectly. On this side, not as well, the side that I actually thought would grow really well, considering you think they get more light. But actually the alternate side, where I've actually worked out that the sun, because it's a bit lower, will actually filter through and actually hit this bed more than the one that's actually closest, which I found in my other tunnel was exactly the same. So in autumn, I'm just going to plant this side again, leave the other side. Maybe I'll put some catch crops in there, like winter lettuces in, but we shall see. But this side definitely will be planted up in autumn with cabbages after I take out the tomatoes. So if you've got a tunnel or a greenhouse, use it through the autumn and winter. It's not just for your tomatoes. Plant it up. I mean, I didn't water these at all until we started coming into spring, when the soil started drying out. Through autumn and winter, the rain is coming down now. They grew on just on their own. So it might be a bit of a wet job because it is raining. I'm going to bring all the buckets that I've left outside all over autumn and winter, pour them into a wheelbarrow, give them a good feed then, like I mentioned, and then plant them all back up. Let's go. So I managed to plant out 12 30-litre buckets using spent compost from last year. I added in bloodfish and bone and also some potato fertiliser. And in another 4, I just put a small amount of chicken manure pellets. Now I don't normally condone that, but I'm doing a little bit of an experiment to see whether or not that would actually improve or, you know, decrease the yield that I have in those 4 buckets. It's more of an experiment. I didn't put loads in, I just put a small amount in 4 buckets. We'll see later on in the season the results on that. I also left 1 bucket which had Maris pipers in from last year. They've started to sprout and I didn't have the heart to empty that bucket out and put more Maris pipers in. So we'll see how that one gets on as well later on in the season. And I also put them outside because I thought it's going to rain all night. The temperature is not going to go below 9 degrees. So I thought it'll have a good watering overnight now. And then if I notice that it's going to become really cold, I'll bring them back inside. But I think they could do with a nice good water from the heavens above. And I decided to leave these 4 buckets in here. They've lived in this polytunnel since I planted them up, so I don't think that they would appreciate being put outside. And plus I'm keeping them watered anyway, hoping for an early harvest. So that's the reason why these 4 are staying in here. I mean, they're looking really healthy. And the green stalk now is looking absolutely lush and green. I mean, the oak leaf are also enjoying it as well, but these ones, look at them, not a slug bite on them. They're all looking really healthy, and even the butterheads here. I'm so pleased with this. And below the strawberries as well, again, we're getting some flowers on here, so I'm hoping to get a couple of crops from here as well. I tell you what, I'm absolutely a mess today. I'm glad I wore this dark clothes. But everything in here now is really protected. We haven't got any casualties. There are a few things that I'm hoping will pick up a little bit, like the spring onions. For some reason this year, these ones haven't done so well. I have got some more over there, some lilia, which are doing really well. But for some reason, the spring onions this year are not doing what I want them to do and grow. Now I have got a pile of exhibition extra onions here and a few others that I'll probably have spare. So it's not like I won't have spring onions, because I can use the exhibition, the Elsa Craig, and I've got a few others down here as well, some extra Walla Walla onions. I mean, these could be planted out individually and I'll use them as spring onions. But these are not playing game this year. I mean, even though it's raining outside, you need to remember to still water your things inside the greenhouse or the polytunnel. Now they do get automatically watered at 9 AM, but I noticed a few that were still missing the sprayers because I've got so much on here now that needed just that extra little bit of water because they're growing so big now, especially the brassicas. They're needing more water, more nutrients to start growing and getting really big so I can put them outside. I've still got the Romanesco, the cauliflower, the calabrese, all the Swedes are still growing on because I've sowed them that a little bit later than the actual cabbages out there. And I've also got more cabbages that are going out, but they're on different stages. So I'm hoping by the time I harvest those, I'll have a few more of them ready to harvest later on, you know, so that I'm not getting them all at the same time. We shall see. And the downside to all that sun, and now we're getting all that rain, I'm seeing more and more bindweed coming up, couch grass. So even though I did all that work, yes, I do think it was worth it. But this area here is going to be a bit of a headache for a few years, I think. I'll just keep at it, keep digging up, and hope for the best that this area gives up the game with all the weeds in the end. I also called into a garden centre this week as well, picked up some petunias, ready for some hanging baskets that I want to put outside my house. And also, if I've got a few spare, pop some in some hanging baskets on the sheds as well. So these will give a little bit of colour. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I actually had some really deep red petunias on top of the whiskey barrel last year, and they all flooded all over it and they look absolutely stunning. So I'm hoping to get some more of them as well. I cannot remember what they are, so if you do remember what they are, pop them in the comments below. They were a really, really deep wine colour, and they were quite small, but they were a petunia kind. So I'm hoping I can get them again this year because they looked absolutely beautiful. If there's any other flowers that you think I should have in the garden, I'm a little bit worried about the morning glory because some have said that they might be a little bit invasive. I've never grown them before, so let me know in the comments if you think I should plant those morning glories out. They are going over an archway. I think they're like a light blue colour one. Can't remember what they were called. Let me have a look. Well, that's helpful. They just say morning glory. Oh, great. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but some of these have actually got like an algae on the top of them. They won't harm the plants, but it is a little bit unsightly. These ones are watered by using the water barrel outside. And yeah, it's formed some kind of algae on the top. But the ones that have been watered constantly by the sprayers using the IBC system, I've got in there by a company called Envii, and they do a water but clear. Now, not only does it keep the water nice and clear, keeps out all the pests, and it also feeds the plants. So I'll pop a link to that in the description for you as well. I've used it for a few years now. I've used a few of Envii's products and I've absolutely loved it, especially the tomato feed. I might get some more of that this year. But the water butt clear has been absolutely fantastic of keeping that water butt nice and clear and white, and yeah, we don't get that algae on the top. I also purchased some French marigolds. Now, I have already got a pile of them, but these ones are more of a yellow colour and a bright orange colour, so I wanted those for the garden to have a bit of a mixture rather than just having all the stripy ones. Now, if mine would have germinated, I wouldn't have had to go to the garden centre to buy these, but alas, I had to do that, so never mind. And I also found these ones as well. These are called vanilla African marigolds. I've never seen these before. If you have, let me know, but I've never seen like a nice creamy colour marigold, so I've got 10 of those as well to pop out into the garden. Where am I putting all these plants? While the rain has dampened down a little bit, I want to try and collect some more asparagus. Now, this crown here has done the best so far. There is a few others for the mids and the lates. Lates haven't come up yet. Oh, tell a lie, a late has come up there. But I must say that I am not having as many as I hoped for yet, but there's still time in the season. And all these nasturtiums, I'm keeping them in a little bit longer, and then I will pick them out and I'll pop them into a pot then to put around the garden. So I decided this year not to sow any nasturtiums because I knew that they would self-seed. They do it every year, but I'm glad that I didn't because it saved me a few pennies on buying more seed or actually storing seed. Plenty have dropped into the ground and I will plant them around the garden, like I said. So yeah, free plants. So these asparagus, you want to get them where they just do the snap, like so. There we go, beautiful fresh asparagus. I've also noticed that the potatoes in here, the Charlotte potatoes, are starting to surface. That's good news. They're enjoying all this rain, I'm sure, but I'm hoping that these will come up a little bit sooner and we'll get a better yield this year, because last year I had the runner beans across here and it shaded this for quite a lot of the summer, so I think that did actually dampen the yield. I've also added in a lot more compost and some farmyard manure into here as well. I dug it all in before I planted this out, so fingers crossed we get a good yield here. And of course, Mr. Mole is doing his usual thing of destroying this border of this planter. I also sown some more carrots down this area here and all the little gaps. Fingers crossed it germinates, but with all this rain I'm sure it will. But we shall see. But I thought I'd just put a few more bits of seed in because we got some carrots coming up, but I don't want to waste them gaps. And my friend Cheryl, she bought me a curry plant when we went to the garden centre. I'm going to pop that into the herb garden. It smells absolutely beautiful. Yes, it smells of curry. It smells absolutely stunning. And every time I walk now through the entrance of the plot, I can smell that smell of curry. So I need to plant that up as well. I've just left the pot there at the moment, but yeah, that's another job that needs to be done today. And I also want to get myself a cola plant as well. Yes, it smells of Coca-Cola. So if you know where I can get one of those from, I would very much appreciate that. I'm struggling to find one and I want it in the herb garden. I would like to have a couple of them. They really do smell of cola, and yeah, I think that would benefit the herb garden very well. I've also did myself a nice little harvest of asparagus, spinach, some mustard leaves, and also some purple sprouting broccoli. I'm doing like a slow cooked chicken in sriracha and hoisin sauce for tonight with some rice, and I think that some of this steamed up would be beautiful on the plate. So yeah, it's not long now before we'll be having massive harvest, but I'm happy with this so far. Good afternoon. So it's an absolute glorious day. The sun is out. My family came yesterday, so happy Easter to everyone. I hope you had a lovely Easter last week. My family came down. They took quite a bit, which I was kind of glad about really, because it took a little bit of pressure off of me trying to find space for it all on you. I did actually plant a little bit extra for them, especially plenty of sunflowers, but it means that I've got to get most of it out now. I need to try and work out where's all going to fit and do a little bit more sowing ready for the next stage of planting out. But everything's looking absolutely gorgeous. The rain has been here for a few days, but in between I've been popping over, did a few jobs, but the plot's looking beautiful. And a huge thanks to everyone who suggested new trowels that I could purchase. Also, thank you so much to Ali and Trish over at the Right Pear Plot. They actually found the exact trowel with a matching fork and posted it to me. I couldn't believe, honestly, so I was absolutely thrilled with that. And also thank you so much to Jean as well. She messaged me as well and said that her husband could actually weld that back on, so I'm going to post that to her so I can get my original trowel fixed. But thank you so much to everyone. And there was one or two trowels on there that you suggested that I am tempted to get, I gotta be honest. Also a big thank you to Karen, who also donated £10 towards the channel, towards the trowel fund. So I'm definitely going to be using that money towards getting one of those brass trowels, I think. So thank you so much to everyone who gave me suggestions for trowels, like I said. But now I've got that little bit extra money, there's no excuse. The nasturtiums and some coltfoot is coming back through this bed now. So I really need to start taking these out, putting them in some pots before they overtake this asparagus bed. We have got some more asparagus coming over here. Not as much as I was hoping for, but now all that rain set in, hopefully now this will start sending up some spears. So this is the priority right now, is I want to get out the remaining sprouts, the purple sprouting broccoli, weed over this bed, get ready for the next planting, because I think I might put sprouts in here again this year. I'm not quite sure yet, but I want to take all this off and clear the bed. So yes, there's a few gaps here now where, you know, the family raided me, but there's still plenty of zinnias to go out. I made sure I had one of each colour, and I gave them a few African marigolds, some calendula and a few other things. All the sunflowers now are all looking amazing, and also sweet corn setting in. The beans are starting to come up now. These are the Cobra French beans. As you can see, they're starting to pop their heads up. And also the Polestar runner beans as well are starting to show here as well. I need to plant these up with some runner beans as well. There is some life on the baby boos, the jappy little, what a shock. The hunter butternut squash hasn't shown anything. And also the climbing bolotis are also popping their heads up now, but God, those hunter butternuts, they're a nightmare to germinate. And also the Monge 2 sugar pods as well. Look, they're all coming up now. This one needs a good water. I've lost all my experimental cucumbers. I foolishly left them in here thinking they might be okay, but yeah, never mind, I've got plenty of others. And another task today is to strip out this side here, take out what I don't need, plant out what I've got, and then I can assess then where I'm going to put all the rest of the plants. But there's plenty of things that want to go out now. Lettuce, the collies and the Cabbages can go out. I don't know about the Swedes yet. Maybe I might leave them for another week or so. But yeah, there's plenty to go out now. Especially the onions from seed. Now these are really bulked up in the last couple of weeks. So I'm really, really pleased with these. Like, I've never had onions from seed this well. The brown shallots, they're doing okay as well. They were sown a little bit later, I think, but they're doing all right. So I definitely need to get all these shallots out today, and maybe the onions. But even though I've lost them experimental cucumbers, I've still got 2 market moors here that germinated, so I'm glad that I've got those extra ones. And I also got another one at home that's actually doing really well, but I might take that one home. So, but I was thinking it's warming up now, you know, the morning temperatures are not that cold, but for some reason those got knocked off. You win some, you lose some. And I'm sorry if you can hear that buzzing. I've actually placed the solar fan up here on a little timer, and yeah, it's just giving some nice aeration up to the top of the tunnel now at the moment. So yeah, it just hangs there and it stays there quite sturdily. Are you all right? Oh, you're welcome. I see, thank you. It feels like only a couple of weeks ago that I was actually putting this up, but it was a very long time ago now, and it's actually proved really, really effective over winter for the Brussels sprouts. Now, I'll show you these stakes that I bought from Malvern. I might get some more when I go this year. We shall see. But they're actually 5 foot long, and they've got 4 eyelets on them. So you can put canes through, or you can put them in a row with a few bean canes, and they can run across a trellis system as well. So I bought 6 of these, so I might get a few more, but these are going to be used in the polytunnel this year, I think. And this bird netting has proved really, really effective as well, keeping the pigeons off. And also, it allowed the wind to get through rather than using my normal nets, which always get blown off in the wind. So it's nice that I've found something that's working really well. So it's all been weeded, I've hoed it over, give it a nice little mixture of bloodfish and bone and also some chicken manure pellets. And hopefully now I can plant this up soon, but I've left this one in just to get a couple of more harvests of the purple sprouting broccoli.
Come on in, Em.
Em was like, I just want to come, do you know, I just want to come down here and garden, and I got to be an extra on a TV show.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? But when I said Ashley, she was like, I'll be there now.
What? I've never had a bit of that.
Oh, you're not in the elite club.
She is in the elite club.
He never brings a bottle of bubbly, mind. That's the difference. Oh, Linda, sorry, you got to talk. Is this on now?
Can you double check I've got it recording? I think I put on record.
You know
I
what?
have to go
On the
back.
camera, right, it looks like it's about me, but really, I'm just a member of the staff of this establishment. I'm a feel-good gopher.
Well, we're celebrating again, and what we're celebrating is Danny's recently had 1 million views since he started this channel. When did you start your channel, Danny?
12 years,
No, it's not 12 years.
about 3 years, isn't
3
it?
years ago. That's amazing, isn't it? So call for a bottle of bubbly and a caterpillar cake. 'Cause
Any excuse.
Danny's quite partial to a caterpillar cake, so I've got cuthbert.
Then I'm holding the cork.
Go on then, Danny. Go for it.
Where we going? Ooh, that one went. Cheers, everyone.
Come on, give him some more. You terrible. Cheers.
Can I go home now? You can go.
Danny, behave yourself. Danny, I can't believe you're going to cut cuthbert cake with a saw. I know I forgot to bring a knife, but I tell you what, I'm not eating it. I'm not eating it. Are you really going to eat that? I've just cut it with a saw.
I cleaned it with a wet wipe.
I know, but oh, right. I'm going to cut the next bit.
You
with a
won't get this
saw.
in Buckingham Palace.
No, you certainly won't. No, I'm not getting it with a dirty saw. You won't.
Lovely. It's been cleaned.
Job, innit?
Look at that.
Like the saw.
Well, that was a nice little celebration. Any excuse for me and Linda to get the bubbly and cake out. If you want to watch more gardening, I highly recommend this video here. I'm Danny, and this is Grow Up.